Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about grass. Are you excited? Well, you should be. Grass is everywhere. Well, except for interior cell, and even a few of those have a little bit of grass in them. But if you're anywhere in the outside world, you're probably going to have some grass around. It's everywhere. So a good grass mod, if you're looking for a grass mod, a good grass mod is important because it's really going to help get your game looking the way you want it to look. And today we're going to be looking at a very popular and very well done grass mod called Tamrielic Grass. I'm not going to try to pronounce the mod author's name. This is the same mod author that created Tamrielic Textures, a very excellent landscape mod that I've been using for quite a while. And the two naturally go very well together. Now there are a few options if you decide to install this mod. You'll have 3 different options for the tundra area in Whiterun. You have a green option, you have a ripe option, which is probably slightly less green and has a little more a mix of other things in it, like dandelions and some yellow flowers. It's pretty nice. And a brown option, which is a little more common to, I guess, vanilla colors. And down in the rift area, you have a choice between green and an autumn option. So right now we are looking at vanilla grass, obviously. So we're going to go take a look at several locations around Skyrim, see what the vanilla grass looks like. Then I will jump out of game, I will activate the mod, and then we're going to go look at those same locations with Tamrielic Grass in them. So we are on the south shore of Lake Ilinalta right now, and this is the pine forest region. So the grass here is going to look very different when the mod's installed, but you know, I want to get a look at this, and then I'll see if Camtasia cooperates. We'll do a side-by-side comparison after I get the mod installed. But this is what vanilla grass looks like in the pine forest region. Damn wolves. You know, I crack myself up sometimes. I complain about those, and yet I don't disable AI detection. I'm like the ultimate hypocrite. Oh well. Let's press on. We'll take a look at a couple of areas here, then we're going to run over the mountain, and we're going to take a look at the tundra area of Whiterun Hold. Let's find a nice spot in here. I need to find about the same location for after the mod's installed. That's a good spot. Okay. Now let me get us over the hill and we'll see what Whiterun Hold looks like. Alright, well here we are in Whiterun Hold. Don't mind my little buddy here. He had to dispatch a few wolves. And this is vanilla grass. No big surprise. Also notice these flat areas right here. In the creation kit, these are called dirt cliffs. I am not sure why they call it a cliff, but that's what they're called. That's what all these flat areas are. And some grass mods change these, some don't. I've had some grass mods where it'll make the grass green, but then you still have these brown dirt cliffs. So, you know, you see a nice field of green and you got these brown patches everywhere. It's not great, but we don't have to worry about that. But this is plain old... Yeah, who didn't see that coming? This is plain old vanilla grass in the Whiterun Tundra. It's interesting that a lot of grass mods make this area kind of a light brown tan color, even though it's really almost orange. But it still looks very dry and, you know, don't light a match. Alright, next stop is going to be Markarth, because there is a different style of grass in the Reach.
Imperial concerns.
Dumbasses. Alright, we are here in the Reach. Not quite at Markarth, but we don't need to go all the way to Markarth. But we just want to take a look at the grass here in the Reach. Little Forsworn camp. They've been dealt with. But we'll just take a quick look here at the type of grass that's in here, because the mod does mention that there is a unique grass for the Reach. We're not going to go up to Solitude, though. It doesn't appear that there's anything unique about the grass there. But we'll just take a quick look at this, and we're going to head on over to Morthal now. We're going to see what the grass looks like in the marsh areas north of Morthal. And then up to the coast, we're going to see what the grass along the coast looks like. And we'll check out some areas probably around Dawnstar where there's a little bit of grass in some of the snowy areas. And then we're going to head down to the Rift. And I think that will wrap it up. There is some, they have done work with the grass that's in the water. I'm not really going to worry about that too much because we don't spend a lot of time in the water. This isn't Morrowind. Alright, well here we are, just outside of town. So let's take a good look at the grass here. Let me find a nice spot. I need to find a place that I can find very easily next time. That's a mod I'm working on right there, that building. This looks like as good a spot as any. Little something for a side-by-side. Not much to it, but then again, this is vanilla grass. We'll cut through my little fortress here. This is still a work in progress, by the way. That's not too far from being done. I got to add a few more things and do some nab meshing, which is going to suck. I really don't enjoy nab meshing. Not many people do. Which has nothing to do with the grass, of course. Alright. I gotta pause there every once in a while, and you know, something that can be used for a split screen side-by-side comparison. Alright, next we are gonna head right up to the coast, so give me just a second to get there. Alright, we are on the coast. I'm not really sure exactly what all it's going to change. The mod, I mean. So we're going to take a view of this from several spots. There's some stupid wolves up there. Let's deal with these guys quickly. Or I could just ignore him. There is that, but you know, the hell's the fun in that? And they're dealt with. You are efficient, aren't you? So I'm just pausing every once in a while for hopefully to find a good a good spot to do a split screen comparison. Hopefully I can get them lined up just about right. And we're going to come up here and take a look at this because I think this is an area where there's a grass called, I think it's called Ciathyza, something like that. It's a green. We'll have to see it when we get the mod installed. Let's see. Let me get a view from a spot like right here. What is that thing right there? Is that a draugr or a skeleton? Oh, it's a tree stump. Wow. Okay, I suppose it's time for some new glasses. Freaking guy can't tell a skeleton from a tree stump. Wow. Alright, let me head down the road here a little bit and we'll check out some other snowy grassy areas. Well, we might as well see what the grass looks like here in Dawnstar. I don't think there's a carriage here either. There is a boat. Not sure how helpful that's going to be, but let's get a view of this. Honestly, I've looked at this mod before, but I didn't come up here, so I'm not sure what it's going to look like here. Good old vanilla Skyrim. Mildly terrifying, yes? Let's not be too harsh on it. It's 11 years old, you know? We can't be too rough with it. Alright, we need to get down to the rift, and I gotta figure out a quick way to do that. Somehow, some way other than sprinting all the way there. Yo, boat boy.
Looking to hire a boat? Where are you headed?
Alright, here we are. Just outside the north gate. Well, I forget sometimes how boring the grass is. The vanilla grass. But here I am busting on an 11-year-old game again. This is going to look very different in a few minutes. I don't think we're going to run all over the rift too much. Let's head over by the farm. We'll take a look at that. I think it's, what is it, snowshod? I think that's what it's called. There's always those guards wandering around there. I was taking a look at this the other day, and I was I'd gone past the farm, and I was on my way back. No, actually, I hadn't started coming back yet. But I was a ways down the road, and I ran into the frightened woman, and she started running back this way. I decided to follow her, and as she started running towards the farm, then turned around, ran back a little ways. About where the bridge is right there, then ran out into the water, took a swim, came back in, ran back to the farm, and just stood there. I was wanting to know where she might go. The grass of the rift. Not much to it. But this is kind of what I was talking about before, that, you know, everywhere you go, there's grass. So why not get a grass mod that makes the game look the way you want it to look? And that's the whole point of mods. There's no right or wrong answer when it comes to how your game looks. We've got lots of options, which is great. We've got lots of options for ENBs and weather, grass, trees, weather. Well, I think I got a couple of stills. Hang on a sec. There we go. Let me find another spot here so we can get some stills. Damn wolves. Hey, stupid guards, go deal with those wolves. Earn your freaking pay for once.
Fight or die well.
Oh, they're not guards. Alright, I think we are set. We've seen, I know we burned through this kind of quickly, but this is Vanilla Grass. There's not a whole heck of a lot to look at. But we're going to take our time a little bit more when the mod is installed, because there is a little more to look at. So, give me a couple seconds here, and I will hop out of game, activate the mod, and we will repeat the process. Alright, we are back in game. The mod is active, and you can see the grass is very, very different. I enabled my house mod here because I wanted to make sure there wasn't any grass growing through the porch or out in the alchemy area. There should not be, because I removed those when I made the mod, but I wanted to check anyway. But you can see the grass here is pretty busy. There's a lot going on here. It's very similar to Northern Grass, and I think they use some of the same assets. You can read the mod author's description. But porch looks good. There's a little bit of something right there. And this is all dirt down here. Oh yeah, this mod also adds these cattails along the shoreline. Pretty nice touch. And we've got dirt in here, as it should be, because it's, well, mostly dirt. This looks pretty good. That's the way it's supposed to be. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do something. Let's do a little before and after split screen. Even though I have the house here, this is the, I think this is the direction we were looking. So there's a little before and after from this direction. And I think we were looking off, let's see. I think we were looking off in that direction. I'm not sure I'm going to have these lined up exactly right, but they'll be close enough. But you can see it's pretty busy. I say busy, but you know, I mean, you got a lot of different plants growing in here. That's something to keep in mind when it comes to grass mods, is that you can have stupid wolves. You can have a bit of an FPS problem. You know, every grass mod is going to be a little bit different. Your system, the other graphic overhauls, mods that you have are going to affect that as well. But grass is one of those things that is can have a more noticeable impact. Aside from probably an ENB, probably something that has the most impact on your FPS. I'm still at 60. The blinked to 54 for a second there, but it's been holding 60 pretty much the whole time. But other than in ENB, I don't have anything else. I don't have any other graphic mods on. Oh, the weather. But I've never known the weather to have too much of an impact. Let's see, I think we were standing next to this tree right here. Let's see. Something like this. So there we go. A little side by side. Let's get over the hill and see what Whiterun Hold looks like. Oh, by the way, I chose the green grass option for Whiterun Hold. I didn't look at the brown. I looked at the green. I looked at the ripe. They both look really good. I have the green in right now. Alright, take a look at this. Well, I'll put up a few split screens, but I'm not sure I'm going to have the exact same position because it looks pretty common out here. One thing I will note, you'll see this line right here. That's the draw distance. If you run Dyndelot or I think it's TuxGen, you'll get the LODs that'll make the grass in the distance look green. So it'll match at least color-wise, it'll match. But this is the vanilla LODs. That's why that's brown. That looks the same as before. And this is the mod. But if you want Whiterun to be green, this is one way to do it. You can see we still have these brown dirt cliffs, but like I was saying, that Tamrielic Textures, a landscape mod, and there's probably a couple others that will change these and get them to match the grass. Let's see, I think we had another view. I think we were standing down here somewhere. Yep, there's the flying Skyrim being Skyrim. So there we go. Nice split screen that direction. Now, on my last Let's Play, I used a grass mod called Grassfields SE. And I think there's like 2 or 3 that have a similar name. But that's the one I used. The LODs for that were really, honestly, ugly. But I did find a mod called Darker Distant LOD, which matched it up perfectly. So the stuff in the distance, which I could probably use with this one as well, but it matched up the grass in the distance very nicely. And the thing about that one, Grassfields SE, it makes Whiterun green. So if that's something you really want, that's one way to do it. That's one mod that can get that for you. It is it's kind of, well, samey. The grass looks exactly the same in Whiterun, in the Rift, Falkreath, the Reach, Solitude. But I think the grass around Morthal and probably anywhere up north and maybe in the volcanic area is pretty close to default. But those other 5 areas, I think it was 5 areas I mentioned, it's the same type of grass. So, and it doesn't have much to it. It's one type of grass and that's it. However, the advantage of that is if you want Whiterun to be green, and maybe because of your system or other mods that you have installed, FPS starts to become a problem, that mod is very performance friendly. And you also have to look at your Iman grass size, and that's something I should have looked at before starting this. It should be at 60, but I didn't check that to see what it was. Anyway, let me get us to Markarth. Alright, here we are in the Reach. Let's do a little side by side here. Can't tell much from that one. And I think we were looking up the hill from over here. Let's see. But this grass reminds me of something here, and I'm not sure what it is. It's kind of like a part of it is a shorter version of what's in Whiterun Hold, and maybe a little bit of the pine forest mixed in, but not too thick. I don't know. That looks good though. You know, a little side by side here. It looks good though. It's definitely unique compared to those other areas. It's not too thick. I don't think this area is going to be too hard on the FPS. Nice poison oak there. Yep, this is the grass of the Reach. Alright, let me get us to Morthal. Alright, this is Morthal. There is a lot of grass around here. By the way, most of the grass mods, pretty much all of them I think, end up putting grass where it shouldn't be, like in these roads and passages. Pathways, I mean. Passages. But there is a mod, and I can't remember the name of it offhand, so I'll put it up on screen, but there is a mod that will remove grass from where it shouldn't be, like roads in particular. We didn't see that, but I don't know if we saw that too much in Fall Creek, but we'll see it more when we get into the Rift. But this mod is great. It works very, very well, and it works with pretty much any grass mod. So it's I mean, if you don't mind the grass growing in the roads, then, you know, it's not that big a deal. But it's a really good mod. So, if Alien's coming back from doing whatever it is he does over in his little summoning circle, you better not mess with my house. And there is my house. Alright, and I think we were looking off in this direction. Again, these might not be lined up perfectly. I think there is there's either a mod or some kind of a little program you can get where you can, how should we say it, you can queue up several different mods, and I think you can actually hotkey them, so you can switch between mods in game without having to, you know, leave the game and then go to your mod manager. And I read something about that somewhere. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but I think that's what those guys use. And I mean, the guys that do the real mod reviews, you know, the guys with, you know, talent. But this is similar to Vanilla Grass, just a little better, a little thicker, a little taller. Not too dissimilar. There shouldn't be any grass growing up here under the house, and there is. And this shouldn't be here because I changed all the ground texture in here to be like a snowy marsh. This grass should not be here. Alright, something else I need to fix. Yeah, I love the wildlife out here. That is an interesting bush. Plant. But I like that. I like that it's, you know, it adds something that's not in the base game. Here's some of the stuff that grows in the water. There's something that grows in the water, obviously. Alright, I think we have a split screen from here. I think this was the spot. This also reminds me of northern grass now that I think of it. Hello. It just wouldn't be one of my videos if I wasn't running around killing something. This looks good though. I like the this type of grass here just looks like it's what you would expect. I guess. I don't know what that means. It fits, you know? It fits the area. Alright, let me get up to the coast. Looks like we got a little bit of a mix here of what we saw in the swamp and some of the grass from the shoreline. Now, I live near the coast, so I'm expecting to see, you know, the kind of stuff that grows on the coast. This looks pretty similar, like this stuff here, except the stuff along the coast where I live, it's much taller, but then I don't live on a frozen coast. I live in Florida, so it's a little warmer than this scene would be depicting. Let's go full overboard. Yeah, this looks very similar to what I see on the coast here where I live, but the stuff here is a lot taller. But again, you're comparing tropics to a northern coast. Let's see, I think we had a view going off in this direction, something similar. Past the noisemaker. And then we had, yeah, this is where that green taiga or something like that. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. This is what I was talking about. This green stuff right here. In the original mod, this was a lot taller. Then they updated the mod, made it a little bit shorter. It's still a little bit tall, but it's interesting looking grass. And then I think we were down by the tree stump and took another look back to the west. I realize we're not spending a whole lot of time in any one area, but if we did, this would be an incredibly long video. There we go. Despite the snow, get a little before and after. So there we go. Fairly similar to what we've been seeing along the north coast. I mean, not similar to before, but what we've been seeing along the north coast. Alright, let me check out Boat Boy and get us down to the rift. So here is the rift. And let's get moving. Because the grass here is pretty busy. There's a lot going on here. Reminds me of the pine forest in a way. I mean, not visually, but the fact that there's a lot of stuff going on. You've got purple stuff and dandelions and fallen leaves. So I'm kind of thinking if there's an FPS issue, it's going to be around here somewhere. Nothing yet though. I've been solid 60 this whole time, except for that one time around my house mod, which is probably more to do with my house mod because that house was built from individual logs. Hundreds of them, so you know, that's a lot for the game to render. Yeah, you heard me right. I built that house out of hundreds of individual logs. I know, I get that. It sounds stupid, but that was the only way I could get a log cabin to look the way I wanted it to look. The buildings in the Rift, or in Riften, just they didn't have the look I wanted. Oh, it's just pretty colorful. So I think if I were to keep this grass mod in, I'd have to keep an eye on, obviously keep an eye on the FPS, but you know, when I start to build the load order and get the other mods, especially the graphic intensive ones loaded, and keep an eye on what's happening with the FPS. Hopefully it stays at or near 60. That would be fantastic because this grass looks great. And this is, I forgot to mention, this is the autumn version. There is a green version for the Rift as well, but yeah, I use that other grass mod, Grassfields SE, which I like. It's a nice mod. I like it. It's very performance friendly, which is one of the things I really like about it. But that one, you know, the grass down here looks the same as the grass in Falkreath. Looks the same as the grass in Whiterun. It's all exactly the same, and it's green. And it just looked okay, but at the same time it looked a little. It looked a little out of place in the Rift with the aspen trees. Let's see, we had another. Where was it exactly? I think I missed it. What the hell's your problem? What did I do to deserve that?
Hopefully these gifts will put us in her good graces.
All these interruptions. I don't remember exactly where it was. See, I think we had a view off in this direction. But hopefully the video, the side-by-sides will be enough to get an idea of what this mod does and what it offers. And I'd like to spend a little more time in each area, but you know, this video is already getting kind of long and I don't want to be too long. There's some more of the cattails that it adds along the shoreline, so it's a really nice touch. I really like that. They look pretty authentic too. So anyway, hopefully this will help if you're considering a grass mod and this is one that you're looking into. Hopefully this will give you some idea of, before and after. And I'm not going to compare it to other grass mods because that's a little too time consuming. I just wanted to show it, the vanilla and then the modded version. The mod. Wow. I really, really, really need another cup of coffee, and I'm only halfway through my first cup already. Not a good idea. I really discourage that. Anyway, that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, and I will see you next time.